Wow.
There it was.
That was
That was
good.
cool, bro. That was cool, bro. I
That
like
was
that, man.
Blair
Blair
Dot
Dot Haley. Haley.
Haley, I'm sorry. Our first ever guest. And as we do here at the Black Law, we do talk about TV shows, and we're talking about different worlds.
Yep.
And we're getting into episode 11, titled, It Happened One Night. I did that very dramatically. I felt it was needed. It happened one night.
I know why you did it dramatically, because this is a rough one. It wasn't a rough. It wasn't. Let me back it up. It wasn't a rough show, as in the episode wasn't good, because I enjoyed the episode when I saw it when I was younger, and I enjoyed it this time around. But pulling stuff was.
It is not.
Yeah. It's not like that. It's not like that Radio Free Hillman episode.
Yeah, it doesn't lean to. It's of a serious nature that's not needing. You don't need a warning at the beginning of the show, but it's talking about a certain thing that, and you'll see as we talk about it.
Yeah.
Written by. It Happened One Night. Written by Susan Fales, name we haven't heard in a minute. Now
Like
co-producer. Yes, and Marge Peters, and of course it's produced and directed by Debbie Allen. We open on Gilbert Hall lobby, the second hall of Gilbert Hall, the lobby. Jaleesa, Freddie, Letty, and Kim all in, and Jaleesa's holding court, and she's talking about some celebrity going through a divorce, and we got a weave joke, and a divorce joke here and there. When the phone, the payphone that I hope some of our audience remembers, there's a thing called the payphone that you actually pay.
That is still at Gilbert Hall.
It's still at Gilbert Hall. The phone rings
For the entire floor.
The entire floor. And they look towards Kim because, well, I guess she's been receiving calls from her boyfriend, Robert. And they're like, the phone is ringing like, okay, Kim, he's called his 6 times and we've all made up lies, this, that, and the other. And suddenly Letty says, I'll answer the phone. She answers the phone and said, hello. She said, we don't even know if it's Robert. And she answers the phone and, well, hello,
It's
Robert. It's Robert. And she gets to Robert and she lies and tells him that, hey, Kim's not here, and could you not call back? She hangs up, and then Letty's like, I don't mind lying for you.
Oh,
but
what am
why?
I lying for?
And Kim is just kind of like, Kim's in a snippy mood. She's in a snippy mood. It's like, we're just not talking. And Letty's like, nah, I need a little more than that. I'm lying.
If I got to keep answering this phone, then you're gonna have to come up with some more information. Something.
Then she still says something that's kind of like a little more specific, but not really specific. And she's like, you know what? I'm not lying for you no more. Again, as you said, it's more dramatic. May have not been the funniest, but yeah. She says, basically she knows that they had a fight. It's like, I know you had a fight. I need some specifics. Either way, suddenly Whitley blows in.
I ain't gonna lie though. It's kind of Letty. I don't really think you can be all up in my business like that.
Well, you're asking me to lie for you. I don't know. I mean, she could have said, she right here, Kim. She could have said Robin.
That's
right.
true. That's true. You know what? That's right. That's true. That's true.
It's like, look.
Yeah, I can
hold
show
on,
you. Yeah, you're right.
I'm holding it down for you now. You gotta give me a little something. At that moment, Whitley an irritated Whitley blows in, talking about her date with her conceited. I think that's ironic.
I know, huh?
Conceited date, and Freddie's like, "Why are you so upset? You were out with Lorenzo Farr." That had to be one of the writers. One of the writers knew that person. That's a name. That you don't just make that name up, Lorenzo Farr. That was a friend of theirs. But she's like, he's so good looking, and Whitley's like, yeah, he's probably still I left, and he's probably still looking at himself in the mirror or whatever. And she's just
you're kind of the same way, Whitley.
Birds of a feather. Suddenly She's going into the room, and the phone in her room rings, and it's Whitley's. Whitley got one of them old school princess phones. Hello.
Again, Whitley has a phone, and everyone else does not.
Hey, yeah. I mean, it was like that in the dorm. So back, I mean, not at
Same
the
as
age of
season.
self.
Is that how it was with you?
Oh my God! Like one person who had a phone. Like I mean, they had a payphone, but one or two people had a phone. It's like, hey man, can I use a phone?
Y'all at least had a phone to where y'all could call from room to room. You might not want to be doing long distance, but at least call it room to room, huh? You couldn't call room to room?
You wanted to call room to room. You walked out your room and you went,
wow. Hey. So when I got to Howard, it was basically among the first years that they had room to room calling, bro?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember the numbers. It was 865. You always dial 5 and whatever the last 4 digits was.
I think that I didn't even know they had a phone in the room. That's amazing. Nah, you couldn't pick up the phone and say, nah, it wasn't none of that. Wow,
hey, if you wanted somebody's number, you'd be like, hey, what's, when you were younger, you get to 7 digits, but now you get the last 5 digits.
Wow, I did not know that.
Last 4.
That's room to room in the same dorm. Could you call? You couldn't
no,
call another. You call another dorm?
Yeah. Oh.
Man.
Wow. I am literally sitting up here in real time looking at an emoji. Mind blown, huh?
Mind blown. I did not know that.
Well, I was already having problems with the categories. Guess I got to take off the highly unlikely.
Oh my God! Oh man!
Well, scratch that.
Did not know that. So Whitley answers her phone, and it's Robert. She says, "Kim goes, I don't want to talk to you, Robert." The funny part, Whitley said, "Make it quick." He said, "I don't want to talk to you, Robert." Click. And Whitley runs in and slams the door. I ain't mean that quick. What's going on, child? I won't get all up. What's all up in your... What flavor is your Kool-Aid? I ain't asked you to do all that. What's going on? It's like nothing. And it's like, she's basically said, Robert, this, that, and the other. And then Whitley, in her way, starts saying, oh, is it he's studying too much? But she did have a nice little joke where she said, I usually like guys who are a little bit on the dumb side.
Yeah,
they don't study as much.
I do remember that.
So they can pay more attention to me. I was like, oh my God. And Whitley is prattling on about you need to get into the new dating pool. And then Kim says, I spend too much time with Robert. And suddenly she says, I think I'm pregnant and I'm late. And Whitley is still going on. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I think I'm pregnant. Yeah.
She said she was 3 weeks late, huh?
Yeah.
She said she was 3 weeks late.
Aunt Flo had not shown up yet. At that moment, Freddie comes in. She's like, yeah, I thought we could all go get some pizza, maybe, get your mind off it. And Whitley just said, yeah, here's my keys to my car. Take it. She just gave her the keys to her Benz.
Just handed it out.
I have never been that aside. I just gave my car away. She gave a Benz away. To Freddie. Yeah. Freddie. And I also noticed through this whole episode they were really trying hard to keep Freddie away. And I understand Kim don't really know Freddie like that, but still it's like they were treating Freddie like an 8-year-old,
There was and then they kind of when later on when Kim's dad gets shot.
Yeah.
In the line of duty. I remember that Freddie kept showing up and just instantly sticking her foot in her mouth. Whatever she would say out loud. I kind of felt that way because I remember that specific episode. But all of that trying to keep Freddie away, I'm like, chill out.
Man. It's kind of weird. But she gives her the keys so she can leave. We go to the rec room. Colonel Taylor, Dwayne, and Sinbad. Sinbad and Colonel Taylor are shooting pool, and I guess
Dr. War,
Dwayne is
pool shark.
Pool shark. I got to say this side note. Sinbad is doing quite well right now in this moment because he had his hair combed, but now it's got a little,
Look like you went to
product.
Look like you
It's a
went
product.
to look like you went to a barber that hooked him up.
He's got a little process in it. It's got a little product in there. It's a little product up top. It's not this natural bushy weed. It's not a natural hair. It's like it's got this like smoothness to it. It's like
Yeah, it's like I remember at home, bro. You got the fade on the side, bro. And put the S curl kit in your hair. I put the S curl kit in my hair. I put that kit in my hair. Your mama was not happy at all, bro.
I am glad I missed that era. That's like a friend of mine. I didn't know she had a Jerry curl, and I was like, "You had a Jerry curl?" I'm so glad I didn't see that period of your life. I'm so glad I didn't see it.
I saw, and it was recently, about 2 weeks ago, bro. These two women just straight up had some, I mean, straight up old school Jerry curls, bro. I was looking at, and they were, I'm pretty sure they were more than likely younger. They were probably younger than myself and you and I, because you just know people are younger. And I just remember looking like, wow, y'all got Jerry curl. Y'all got JHERI curls in your head.
Curl.
And you walked out the house. And you were like, okay. Like you looked in the mirror this morning and was like, I like that. All right.
I like that. I guess the side, I just had to say that about his hair. He's playing pool when Robert rushes in. And must I know, Robert is wearing, like, being a freshman, has got this full-on Letterman jacket with patches on it, like he's earned a life at this school. And I was like, I think that's kind of a Hillman. It's a nice looking Hillman jacket, like he earned it, like, you know.
You know, when this moment that you are laying out for the one or two people in our audience, that is when I started to realize, just like we were talking about the meat locker, I was sitting there thinking, you know what? They're trying to make Robert a regular. He's not a regular. You're not a regular. Like, there's nothing entertaining about you.
He's a couple
At least the meat locker has some entertainment.
The meat locker and Randall, entertaining. Robert,
you know what? If they kept Randall and the meat locker, I'd have been cool with that.
But Rob,
no,
yeah, it's not. You're breathing. Your heartbeat. We need a storyline.
Yeah, Rob would go on. Robert would go on to be in.
Not saying he's not a good actor. It doesn't go. It just
he would go on to be in other shows as that. Hey, you recognize that black guy? I've seen him before.
Robert, remember Second City? Yeah. Like I said, Robert rushes in and Walter's like, don't say a word unless somebody's dead or pregnant. And he keeps talking. And Walter pulls him aside. Robert says, hey, Walter, you know my girl Kim? And Walter says, yes. Well, she took this test and
she ain't
not dead. Which is funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie, she's not dead.
I will give it to Robert on that one, bro. That was funny, bro. She's not dead.
That is called, I'm gonna tell you, that's one of those jokes where they'll tell us in the room, I need a bulletproof joke. I need a joke that nobody can lose with. And that's
this one. This one right here.
I need one with what they call what's the cover? What is the bulletproof material?
Kevlar.
I need Kevlar. I need a joke with Kevlar on it, bro. And that's a joke you can't lose with. But he says, Robin tells, I think Kim's pregnant. Walter, lose it. What did I tell you? First week of school, I didn't want to have this conversation with none of y'all. It's like,
if you the Walter.
Wait, he said, if you can't be cool, what I tell you? If you can't be cool, Be careful.